Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun.
dun.
Whoop, whoop, pop, pop, pop. Whoop, whoop, pop, pop, pop. Wee, whoop, wee. You're good. I'm from Ohio, but I lived in Miami a lot of my life. I'm half German, I'm half El Salvadorian. My dad is El Salvadorian immigrant, and my mother, she lives in Ohio. I grew up with my grandparents. My grandpa was the most influential person in my life, so sometimes I feel like an old man, you know? Because when you're hanging out with old dudes all the time, you know, you're listening to old music. You used to listen to Chuck Berry and Elvis Presley and old war movies and so on and so forth. So my childhood is quite interesting, you know? Yeah. Basically what happened, I was in Ohio, and I met my wife through a common friend. Her name was Yelena, and I met her. She was going to college, and after that she graduated, and she actually was born in Almaty, and she went back to Kazakhstan. I told her I would go to Kazakhstan, I want to be with you, and so on and so forth. Finally, after a year of waiting, she came back to America. I had a business at that time. I was selling cars. I was a little bit entrepreneurial, and I had an offer to work in South Korea. And we were there for 3.5 years, so I was working for the Ministry of Education. We worked for MBC, Moonhwa Broadcasting Company, and that basically it's like recruiting foreigners for studios. And then my son was born. Yeah.
Wait, son was born in Korea?
My son was born in Korea, in Bucheon, Jungdo. When I walked into the classroom, history classroom, you know, there's always a map. You look at the map and you see this big country, Kazakhstan. I always think like, man, and this was before Google, right? So you couldn't really, I mean, you had to go to the library to figure out what the country was about. And I was like, man, what's there? What's in Kazakhstan? Maybe it was a premonition that I was supposed to come here. I don't know. So, yeah.
She decided to back. Yeah.
I decided. She didn't want to come back.
You decided?
Yeah. Because she was thinking about my comfort. She's like, well, you're in South Korea. You have a good job. Why would you do that? I was like, well, you know, you're really connected to your family, you know. Rather than me, I'm not so connected to my family, but for her, she's really connected. So if my wife is happy, if my son is happy, then I'm gonna come to Kazakhstan. So I came here not just for work, I came for family, I came for the happiness of my family.
Я смотрю имя Крис, думаю, что может иностранец какой-то.
Иностранец. Крис с Америки.
You speak English?
Да. He's American, from
Я почти местный. I'm a photographer, videographer. I worked for Hабар network before I worked for Arirang News in South Korea.
Wow.
Now I work for the Ministry of Media of Kazakhstan.
That's so cool. I mean, you're working here.
Yeah,
The government.
yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, about 3.5 years I've been here, traveling around Kazakhstan.
Hey guys, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, this is Jana, this is Jazira, Donna. Hey, how are you? You guys working hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty hard, yeah? Oh, hey, how are you doing? Yurbalat. This is Yurbalat. This is one of the directors. This is the director here.
The recent 13th International Eurasia Film Festival featured nearly 300 international and domestic films. The festival is accredited by the International Federation of Producers Association.
So this is the show, it's us on the Times. We're doing it off a green screen right now. So like, you know, about the Astana Financial Center, we're interviewing different people like Kanat and different specialists and just basically giving their aspects about the future of Kazakhstan. So this is just to start a project, but next year we'll have more funding, hopefully, to have our own studio and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what I do here. But my wife, Yelena, she was a very amazing person. She, I don't know, very smart. She was very, she was in a family of writers, journalists. She spoke 6 languages. She was quite amazing, but unfortunately, just recently she passed away. So she was battling cancer for about 2.5, 3 years. So it's been quite a difficult time for me. you know, especially me having a young son. So acute myeloid leukemia is an aggressive form of blood cancer. And they said you have 4 days to live and you have to have chemotherapy. So after that, they gave her chemotherapy immediately. And 3 weeks later, she was cured. So me and my wife, we were in there for 3.5 weeks, and I didn't know if she was going to live. I didn't know if she was going to die. And we just sat there and watched movies, and it was kind of a roller coaster experience because she would have a temperature of 41, then it would go to 36, and then 38, and then finally the bone marrow of her mother had grafted, and she left the hospital, and she was better for about 1 year. And then the cancer came back, and she was only 28 years old. So it was quite tragic because I didn't think that was going to happen, you know. So basically, what I did is I created, like, I'm going to create like basically a collage of my wife. So then when he grows up, that he's able to know who his mother is, because actually, a lot of people they have faint memories of their parents, you know, when they pass away young. So what I want to do is I want to make a video, and you know, basically, you know, show him who his mother was, because she was also an artist. She was such an interesting person. So. Take a seat. Oh, I love you too, son. They're making a video about us. Look at the camera. Make a video. Say hello. 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 She said, number one, please, like, take care of my family, like, take care of my mother and my father, like, watch over them. And I said, okay, it's fine. I would do that. And secondly, like, my son, he's growing up, he needs love. You know, that's the most important thing when a kid is growing up. He doesn't have that connection back home in the States, unfortunately. But here, like, his grandmother is so overprotective of him. She gives him everything, anything he wants. He wants a robot, he gets the robot. He wants Chupa Chups, he gets Chupa Chups. His grandfather loves him. He goes to a very nice school. It's comfortable here. It's comfortable in Austin. For me, Kazakhstan is a special place because this is where my wife was born. This is the only, you know, memories I have of her. Some good and some bad memories, and also too, because of my son. You know, he has his grandparents here, and he's loved. And I think the most important thing is for a child to be loved. It's not the location that they're at. Even though for me, maybe yes, America in some ways is more comfortable, but Kazakhstan has a special place in my heart, and Fabi's happy. And when your son's happy, and when he's loved, then that's the most important thing. Because as being a parent, you're not living for yourself, you're living for your son or your daughter. So I just want him to be happy, and he's happy right now. So
Are you happy?
maybe in Russian you understand.
Ты счастлив? Да.
Да.
See, he's happy. So. One, two, three, dap. There we go. My boy.